So this has been a pretty woeful few weeks for Apple on the security front. I guess the headline issue has been Pegasus and the allegation, the implication that there have been 0 clicks sent to iPhone users over iMessage.
Most of us, and I mean, I include myself in this, don't really understand how iMessage works.
What's really interesting is, some time ago, Apple was going down the right road with this, and it was starting to look at, putting additional security and filtering around unknown senders to protect you for everything, even notifications and all kinds of stuff that was coming from people that you didn't know. That appears to have been watered down in iOS 14, although there was no announcement. And when you actually look at what Apple says its software does and what it does, unusually for Apple, it's not the same thing. And that, at the moment, given timing, is really very awkward.
Ideal, is it? Given that we know that there is a vulnerability out there in iMessage, we don't know if it's been fixed in iOS 14.7.1, which came out very recently, because Apple has been very opaque about what's happening with that. So, I mean, Pegasus is one issue, and as we've discussed, it isn't something that's a particularly big risk to everybody. But there are vulnerabilities out there in iMessage, aren't there? And that is a concern.
Yeah, this has highlighted the fact that there are vulnerabilities, and we've talked before about Apple being opaque, and it's clearly not good at all. It needs to come out, it needs to be open about what it's doing and give users reassurance. And just saying that it's a small subset of users is not enough. But actually, there's another issue, and that might be more serious, because what you could assume is that the challenge is what's come out of the Pegasus stuff is it's not just an iMessage 0 click. There's implications around photo streaming and Apple Music and all kinds of stuff. There are obviously vulnerabilities in a very tightly stitched together operating system, which makes it quite difficult for researchers to go through and look at logs and all the rest of it. So it's harder than on Android for people to work out what's going on. You could assume, I think it would be fair to assume, that Apple's concern is that there are other vulnerabilities out there, and coming out and making a big headline splash that it's plugged the Pegasus gap, and then Pegasus picks one of its other exploits off the shelf and it keeps going, that potentially is worse. From a user perspective, yeah, you're not at risk from Pegasus unless you're very, very unlucky or in that very, very small subset. But these are exploits, right? Who's to say that they're not being used by others?